Hello and welcome to Illuminations with Tina and Fee, for you who desires a life of abundance. I'm Tina, and very different this month. We're starting with a guest episode to kick off the month, and the month is about joy. I love that word. It's just saying joy makes me feel joyful somewhere inside. With me, I've got the lovely Liz Davies. Now, Liz has been with us before, and she is a bundle of joy. I mean, every time I see her, she's got this lovely smile on, and it's just, and I have to say, I checked out your website now, Liz, this morning, and it says like this: my quest is to enjoy life as much as possible and to help others do the same. I love that. Beautiful.
Yes.
Can you remember writing that?
Yeah.
Yes.
That must be my Synergy Wellbeing website. Yeah. My old one, because I've got a new one now.
Have you now? Okay, so you have to tell us about that one later on, because I didn't know about that one. Liz, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit more than just that quote?
Okay, so I am Liz Davies. I'm a miracle coach. So I sort of rebranded myself basically sometime last year. I realised that I wanted to, I suppose, just be a bit more bold and put myself out there a bit more than what I was doing. And I realised that I had a lot to offer and that I had a lot that I could help people with. And instead of being Synergy Wellbeing, that felt very nice and gentle, I just thought I need something with a bit more pizzazz. So Miracle Coach got born in kind of May last year. So that's why I have a new website now called Liz Davies Miracle Coach. So I still use the same techniques as I was using before. So I still do hypnotherapy. I do a lot of EFT these days, the tapping. I find that that's incredible. But I also now weave in a bit more candidly, talk about things like energy and vibration and the sort of, the spiritual sciencey stuff that used to be seen as a bit wacky, but now we can kind of back it up. So I realised that was a big part of what I do and the way I operate in my life, and I needed to be able to share that too. Yeah. So Miracle Coach kind of fitted in so many ways, because the things that I talk about are miraculous. The results people achieve are miraculous. I believe that we all have miraculous magical powers and that we can tune into those at any time. Miracle Coach felt more me actually, and more the direction I want to go in.
Fantastic. And I love that kind of thing, because I think that also reflects your energy. Well, you say with Synergy Wellbeing, maybe it was playing it a little bit safe.
It was.
You don't, you feel like a person who's kind of like out there and, ready for the world. You don't need to.
Yeah, I think that comes with time, doesn't it? And comes with experience, and you get a bit braver. And I think I just started to realise that the best way I could help people truly was to be the best version of me that I know. And there's no point hiding parts of what I do and what I know, hiding them away, because that's not really embracing the real me and what I'm supposed to be here to do. So I just had to be a bit brave and bold. Which I was kind of looking for at the time as well. I remember thinking, I want to be a bit more bold. And then all of this stuff started to change for me, and I realised that I just needed to be more me. And it's actually worked out really well. I'm loving my work more than ever now. So it's great.
Brilliant. I mean, that's a lovely kind of segue into joy then.
Yeah, I suppose it is. Yeah, the word enjoy. I like to be in a state of enjoyment as much as I can. So, yeah.
Exactly. And what did you say? We had a bit of a chat before we started, and you said something that I really went, wow, I love that. And you said, I'm in my resting state is joy.
Yes, I figured that out a little while ago, and I was just pondering the topic of resting states, and I realised that that's my resting state. That's my chosen resting state, I think. And if I am distressed in any way, or if things aren't going well, or if there's a challenge, which invariably there are, I'm not immune to life stuff, but I find that as soon as something difficult happens and I find myself not feeling joyful, my natural thing to do is, right, how can I get back to a state of feeling joyful? Yeah.
Yeah, no, go ahead. You were going to say something more.
I think the thing that does that as well, what gets me back to that state as quickly as possible is gratitude.
Yes.
So if I move myself into a state of gratefulness for whatever it is that's happening, even if it feels pretty awful at that moment, I say, okay, I'm grateful for this because there's something good in this. There's going to be some learning or some end result that's better than I realise now. And so I'm grateful for it. Yeah. And that quickly shifts me into a state of joy again. Even if something awful's just happened, I can kind of think, okay, it's okay. And I'm going to feel joyful about that very thing that's going on, because it is all a matter of perception. And we can reframe pretty much anything, really, if we make the effort.
Exactly. So basically, something happens in your life that's not ideal. And then you do gratitude, and you don't do gratitude about anything. You do gratitude about that exact thing or that person or that event. I think the way it started for me was I started having gratitude for other things. So instead of focusing on the thing that was distressing, I would think, right, okay, shift my focus here and focus on what's good, what can I be grateful for, because it's so easy to just spiral down, isn't it, when something difficult happens and you just spiral down and suddenly everything's bad. And so I realized that wasn't a good way to go. So I thought, right, what am I grateful for? So I would just spend a few moments and be grateful for a few things that were clear things to me that I did feel grateful for. So it's not like false gratitude at that point. It's kind of real. And then what I found that actually led to, just quite naturally, was gratitude for the situation, and realizing that actually this was going to be all right in the long term, and that something good was going to come out of this, or immediately I'd have a realization that would make it all make sense to me or help me through it in some way. So starting off with gratitude about other stuff, actually, but then it led to that. So now I just go straight to grateful for the actual thing itself. Yeah, fantastic. So we've taken a bit of a roundabout way now, which is perfectly perfect. But what is joy? How do we define joy? I mean, what is that?
Yeah, well, I know I was talking to you about this today, so I thought I'd better sort of think about this a little bit. And I looked it up, and I looked up definitions of joy. And there's pages on Google of religious stuff. That is all, first of all, it's all about God, the Bible, joy, references to joy in the Bible, and it's all very biblical. And I thought, oh, that's weird, because I didn't expect that. But actually, then that led to me pondering it subconsciously. And I realised that when we're in a state of joy, we are actually most connected to our spiritual selves. And so although I'm not a religious person at all, and I'm not a fan of religion, but I do get that religion is about sort of getting in touch with your spiritual self as well. It's like a vehicle almost to help you to get in touch with that part of you. And people find it easier if they're going to praise like somebody else rather than just like feeling the joy themselves of being alive, let's say. Yeah. And so I realised that actually, when you're in a state of joy, you're in a higher state of connection to your spiritual self. You're in a higher vibration. And I understand and talk about emotions as being on like an emotional scale, like a ladder. You probably know about this. And so you've got the heavier, denser, more difficult emotions at the bottom of that ladder. And then as you climb that ladder towards the top, you've got your states of bliss and joy, gratitude. And joy is right up there at the top with those higher vibrational feelings. And those feelings, all of those, the gratitude, bliss, love, joy, when we're in that state, we are most in touch with our kind of real spiritual self, I think, and we can feel things more intensely in a good way.
I was thinking about this topic yesterday. I thought, okay, so what is joy for me? Like, when do I know I'm in joy? And as you said, you've got a resting state of joy. And I think, for me, it's like, okay, can you be in joy and feel other emotions as well? Possibly. And then I was thinking about joy and happiness. And I was thinking happiness for me is more up here. This is just personal for me. But when I think about joy, I feel grounded. I feel connected. I feel it's almost like connected to Mother Earth, and there's a stability in my body. I can, it's like grounded, I think is the word for me. And then
Yeah.
happy, it's like, okay, it's happy here, which is also beautiful. But for me, that was a very kind of bodily sensation difference there.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. No, I think that's absolutely what I would say as well, actually. So joy is more of it kind of feels more physical, doesn't it? Which makes you feel more grounded. So you can feel it throughout your body, a feeling of joy, whereas happiness, it can just be up here, and it can just be a bit of an umbrella term, happiness, for things going well, contentment. It's totally an umbrella term in many ways. It covers so many things, doesn't it? Feeling happy. In fact, most people, if you ask them what they want more of, or what they want to be, it's happy. Yeah. Whereas once you break that down, you have to really break it down and say, well, what does happiness mean to you? For some people, it's security. For some people, it's freedom. So there's lots of different reasons that people feel happy. But yeah, joy is more of you're right, I like that. It's like a connection to a higher you, but also a grounded connection.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, so one way for you when something happens and you get out of your resting state of joy is gratitude. What else would you say to other people who might not have a resting state of joy, of how to kind of feel it, find it, have it, live it?
I would say gratitude is the easiest way in. So if you are going around in a regular state of gratitude, let's say, even though things might not feel good, but you focus on what you are grateful for, because we've all got things that we can be grateful for, even if it's just the fact that our legs work, or, we wake up in the morning. I've spoken to people who survive cancer, and they seem to feel the most joy and the most gratitude, because they say that they wake up in the morning and they're so grateful that they're alive. And we don't do that. People don't, they wake up and go, oh God, got to get up. And so just focusing on what is actually good in your life right now, or what things could you be grateful for that you may have taken for granted before, and just really focusing on those things. Like every morning, wake up and think about what 3 things am I grateful for today? And then what that does is it spreads, it grows, doesn't it? So the more we're grateful for, and the more we notice what we're grateful for, the more stuff then seems to appear before us that we can be grateful for. And that state of gratitude is actually quite a joyful state. I think they all kind of feed into each other, don't they? Yeah. So I would say that is the easiest way in. And the more things that you do that you enjoy, so like hobbies, interests, spending time with people that lift you up, people that excite your spirit and make you feel happy to be alive, make you feel connected, or any of those good feelings that you get with people that you like being around, that also increases your capacity to feel that joy. Engaging in activities that you like to do, that you enjoy, anything that you enjoy is putting you into a state of joy. So just follow that, follow those things. I'm a really strong advocate of enjoying your life as much as you can, because then it makes everything else in your life easier and better, and you are more supportive to others, you're more inspiring to others. People you can help people a lot more easily, rather than thinking that you've got to just, like, there's a lot of people that think that they've just got to help people and be of service, and put their own needs at the bottom of the pile, and that doesn't get anyone anywhere, does it? It really doesn't, because those people end up run down, ill, tired, fed up, frustrated, annoyed, resentful. Yeah. So if you just think, right, well, how can I increase my joy capacity? What can I do today that I will enjoy? What can I do that will make me feel happy inside, or even just give me a little bit of pleasure? Then that raises your vibration, and then your vibration is operating at a higher level, a more joyful level, and then you attract more good stuff into your experience, so it grows. And then also you are better to be around, and you are happier to help people, and it just makes life easier. When you focus on what makes you feel happy.
Definitely. And it's also, I think it's a lot about attitude. I listened to a Tony Robbins thing the other night, and he'd been in with an audience, and there was one man who he kind of made 4 million a year plus bonuses, and he had 4 kids and a wife, and he said, well, I'm not, I'm not content with life, so when will you be? So Tony Robbins is like, well, when I make 6 million, and when I have this, and when I have that. And then there was another guy, and Tony Robbins asked him, and he said, I get up in the morning, I put my feet on the ground, and I think above ground is a good day.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Yeah, it's attitude, taking an attitude of joy. I mean, people talk about an attitude of gratitude, don't they? I don't know if you've heard that.
Yeah.
And so you can also take an attitude of joy, and you can get up in the morning and set an intention that today I'm going to focus on joy. And you will see joy in the tiniest of places. You will feel joy with the sun shining on you, or just seeing a chance thing on the street, that warms your heart. It's like, once you decide to focus on that experience, that's what you will see. And that's, there's cognitive, scientific, psychological reasons for that. But there's also kind of energetic stuff at work as well, because we do attract, don't we, what we are focusing on. And so it just brings more of it in the more you focus on it. So gratitude, setting intentions to focus on joy, and you'd be amazed what starts to shift.
Yeah, it sounds so simple.
It kind of is.
It is simple. And then I think what even I still doubt sometimes, like, well, it's not possible. And, something that's that simple can't lead to that. Yes, it can. It's somehow that we fool ourselves thinking that it has to be difficult or hard or challenging. Yeah. And then it will, we will reap the rewards. And it's like,
that's very true.
And no, it can be really simple.
Yeah, I think that's it. That is totally it. Society has kind of been set up to teach us that it's a struggle and it's hard. Yeah. And then if it's not a struggle and it's not hard, then it's not going to be any good in the end. Yeah. But actually, I believe the opposite. I'm like, it's all meant to be quite simple and easy and straightforward. And don't get me wrong, I have my moments where I'm like, but as soon as I remember back to my resting state, it's easy. It's actually, you can alchemize any experience or emotion quite quickly. If you ground yourself, be grateful for it, and choose to be joyful, choose to experience joy.
Brilliant. So we are so out of time.
Oh wow. Okay,
we've gone over time, and it's perfect.
I didn't know what I was going to talk about, and here we go.
we could talk for another hour. No problem. So remind us again, Liz, where people can find you if they want to find you.
Okay, yeah, I'm www.lizdaviesmiraclecoach.com. So it's Liz and Davies with a Davies. But yeah, it's quite straightforward now. Liz Davies Miracle Coach. I thought that's more me.
Excellent. and I'll put that up at the end as well.
So yeah,
listening. Oh, we've got a connection problem. I think we're talking over each other, which is fine.
Oh,
yeah, technology. Anyway, Liz, thank you so much for being with us. I'd love talking to you, and I hope you come back again.
Oh, I would love to.
And thank you to you who's been watching or listening. Let us know what you think. What's joyful for you? What brings you into a state of joy? Do you have a resting state of joy? I want to find more people who have a resting state of joy. That's just amazing. Like us, subscribe, comment, and we will see you next time. And next time, Fee will be with me again. Bye now.
Bye.